My half-drawn shutters let the early sunshine slink through them, giving the tiny handmade cake I prepared last night a warm glow. I run my fingertips over the basic blue outfit I decided upon for my birthday today. 22, years old. Not really a landmark, but nonetheless worth commemorating. I at least tell myself this. On the counter next to a framed family picture shot 3 summers ago at Lake Winnebago before I moved out, my phone remains mute as I still hope things could improve. Mom's arm hangs across Johnny's shoulders. Dad's hand falls on his rear. I'm standing somewhat away, grinning too broadly, as if I could bridge the distance with only pure will. My wall's calendar shows today's date in red, an optimistic notation I made weeks ago highlighted in red. This morning, I checked my phone 150 times. No messages. Not one missed call. Not even from Mom, who used to wake me in little sighs with birthday pancakes. Perfect. Early yet, dinner is at Rosario's mother's favorite Italian restaurant. She wouldn't let go of it. I take up my phone, pause, then tap out a note to our family group chat. Hey, tonight's dinner meeting time is what? I send, then hold my breath. 3 dots show, then go away. Not a thing. Minutes fly quickly. I fix already straight picture frames, check my email, water my kitchen plants. Still none. Perhaps they lacked vision for it. Perhaps they have work to do. Most likely, I type once more, fingers a little less constant. Mothers, Mom, Dad, just checking in about tonight. The quiet continues until the afternoon. My gut closes into a known knot. This happened to me at my high school graduation when they departed early for Johnny's baseball game, then whispered about his middle school science fair success at my college awards luncheon. But not today, not today's birthday. I press call before I can talk myself out of it. Once, twice, 3 times the phone rings. My heart beats. Oh, hi, Remy. What's going on? Mom sounds laid back and unfocused. Something cool settles in my chest. Hi, Mom. I was only curious about tonight's meal. Dinner as a pause exists. Too protracted, too instructive. Oh, honey, I ought to have said this sooner. Knowing what comes next, I hold the edge of the counter. Johnny is being taken tonight to celebrate. The air rushes silently from my lungs. However, my birthday is here. Is today that? Her voice starts in imitation amazement. I knew it was bogus because I heard her real astonishment last week when Dad brought flowers home and heard the unguarded happiness create rapid intake of breath. This is distinct. This is performance theater. I hear Johnny chuckle from somewhere in the background. Tell her we will pack leftovers. My view fades. Not from tears, I won't weep. Not this time, but from an instantaneous, clarifying rage. This was not a case of forgetting. This was selection. Exactly, I say. My voice is very quiet. Dinner in honor of Johnny's scholarship. You remembered, oh? Mom seems relieved, as if I had given her the ideal justification. Though bookings were limited and, we plan to include you, sweetheart. This is good. The words flee via tightly closed teeth. Have a pleasant evening. Once again, I'm 16, driving myself to school as Mom brushes Johnny's hair before his class photo. At graduation, I'm 18, and they hurry past my honor cord to wish my brother Junior varsity. At Dad's alma mater, I'm 21, helping them relocate Johnny into his dorm as they remember heritage customs. I moved away 6 months ago, still stupidly believing distance would cause their hearts to grow fonder. Still trying to show up for Sunday meals, to maintain the illusion that we are a regular, loving family by calling regularly. What a waste of hope that is. My eyes too brilliant. I fix my reflection on the microwave door, cheeks flushed. I gently, methodically reach behind my neck and unclasp the silver necklace Mom gave me last Christmas. It was the identical one she handed my Aria and cousin Alice. It wasn't picked for me. Usable. Good. 3 ladies marked off one present from her list. I turn away from the counter after setting it there. Though it's from Bradley, my phone buzzes with a text from my folks. Happy birthday. I really look forward to you tonight. Bradley, whose parents inquired about my preferred cake flavor last week, in what I now see wasn't casual chat, whose eyes sparkle when I walk into a room. I go back to my parents, the imploring text I began writing. My hands quiver slightly when I call Bradley instead. I find great power in my voice when he responds. Hey, do you have evening plans? Tonight instead, they are honoring Johnny. I hold the phone tightly to my ear, and the words choke in my throat. I see a cardinal drop on my little balcony railing through the glass, vivid red against the last afternoon light. What? Bradley's voice becomes sharper. When something doesn't make sense, I can see his brow wrinkling. Your birthday falls on today. Apparently, it didn't rank first on the priority list, though it wavers like a candlelight in a draft. I try to keep my voice steady. Mom believed Johnny's scholarship dinner took precedence. Bradley's quiet on the other side says volumes, then he exhales deliberately. I'm coming to pick you. At the moment, I'm good not at all. Emma, the strength in his voice prevents my natural deflection. On your birthday, you shouldn't be alone yourself. Already, I am reaching for my keys. My immediate reflex is to object more. I'm not in sympathy. Years of painstakingly perfecting the look that everything is okay, that my family's neglect does not cut bone deep. But at last, something within me, something that has been developing for 22 years, breaks. All right, I say in whispers. I had a box of old family pictures beneath my bed by the time Bradley's soft knock rings at my door. Sitting cross-legged on the floor, I am looking at a Christmas photo 3 years ago. I am partially cropped from the camera. Johnny stands middle, arms around Mom's shoulders. Bradley looks at me once, then goes on his knees next to me, arms around me silently. I thought maybe that I was exaggerating. I say, then go for my phone after a second. I so looked over the family calendar. I accessed the shared digital calendar Mom demanded we all use to be in touch. I reversed many weeks, then scrolled to today's date. That is there. Johnny's celebratory meal at 7 o'clock. Rosario came in 23 days ago. I remark, my voice empty as awareness crystallizes. They never forgot. They picked. Bradley carefully picks up the phone and runs over prior incidents. His mouth closes at what I had showed him before Johnny's basketball games. Everyone attend, while my college awards ceremony was just dubbed Remy's school event. Look at these books. I keep experiencing a weird peace as I at last let myself recognize the pattern I've been ignoring for so long. Will attempt to make it. I show him message after message, my graduation announcement greeted with. Johnny's junior varsity performance delighted us. Family celebration feast is just what makes us proud. This is not right, Remy says. Bradley responds, his voice subdued but clearly angry. Family does not engage in this. I stare up at him, at the real indignation in his eyes on my behalf, and something moves within me like tectonic plates, at last releasing years of pentagonal pressure. He says gently, my folks have been inquiring about you. They observed that last week you missed Sunday supper. I hesitate. Although Bradley's family has always been kind to me, accepting their support seems like acknowledging my own family doesn't want me, like confirming out loud what I have felt in my heart for years. Though I acknowledge the defensive tone in my voice, I insist I don't need a charity birthday. Bradley holds my face in his hand. They care about you, not charity. They had been wondering when they may get to see you for dinner anyhow. The difference is clear. My parents organized a birthday party without me, whereas Bradley's parents noted my absence from one supper. I reach behind my neck slowly, unclasping my mother's necklace once again, purposefully placing it on the coffee table. I said, let me get changed. 20 minutes later, we draw into Bradley's parents' driveway. Not special occasion wear, but comfy. I have changed my birthday dress, with jeans and a light blue sweater, armor of another sort. It swings open before we get to the door, showing Bradley's mother, Harmony, whose face lightens when she sees me. "Good birthday, darling. We have something unique planned." She gives me a hug, smelling of beautiful flowers and vanilla. Nothing like the stiff, forced embraces my mother gives at significant events. Immediate, sincere, and without question. Bradley's father, Howard, shows behind her a little beautifully wrapped gift. 22 precisely? "We meant to buy you something significant." My initials etched in the corner. The present is a lovely leather-bound diary, selected just for me, not exactly like every other present they have given. Thank you. I manage. My throat closes. Perfect is exactly what this is. In my pocket, my phone remains stubbornly quiet as Bradley's parents go toward their vehicle. They had booked supper at Bellini's, a posh Italian restaurant I mentioned wanting to visit. The restaurant has elegant white tablecloths and soothing lighting, not scary at all. Ordering champagne right away upon our seating, Howard insists on a formal toast. "For Remy," he adds, lifting his glass. "For your future as much as your birthday." Harmony says, "We're excited to see where your talents take you. Also, to finally get to know the young woman Bradley talks about so brilliantly." They follow careful listening after asking about my new work, residence, ambitions for the future, real inquiries. Nobody breaks off to discuss Johnny's achievements. Nobody studies their phone or looks at their watch. I find words formulating that I have never let to be said aloud when the waiter serves dessert, a piece of tiramisu with a solitary candle. I believe I have been searching in the wrong area for relatives. Bradley's mother demands yet one more picture. Just the two of you seated before the hearth. She moves back to frame the picture after waving us into line. Excellent. I lean toward Bradley's side and smooth my blue dress, the same one I would have worn this morning when I still thought my family may recognize me. His arm rests firmly and sensibly around my waist. "Laugh," his father calls. Another memory kept is caught by the camera flash midway during laughter. Back at Bradley's place, we curl up on the sofa as his parents rush in the kitchen pouring coffee and serving the little cake they had delighted me with at the restaurant. The evening envelops me like a cozy blanket, the smooth murmur of talk, the lack of that familiar knot in my gut, the faint click of dishes. Bradley advises us to snap a photo tonight to help us remember. He pulls out his phone. I stop frozen. Oh, I would be able to handle it. Not like this moment. He moves in close proximity, arm's length phone in hand. "Birthday girl, you will be in pictures." The insight hurts. I have years of recording everyone else's festivities. Mom is guiding me to obtain a decent one of Johnny, blowing out candles. Dad handed me his phone to record family events I never really participated in. When Bradley's parents come back with coffee and cake, his mother snaps additional pictures of Bradley and me before we eat. Simply me. 4 of us each carrying a timer. Something hooks in my throat as she gives me the findings. I'm smiling. Not the nice, stretched, camera-ready grin I have for family get-togethers, but something genuine. My eyes are clear. I investigated. Glad. Send them to me. My voice smaller than I want. Later, after Bradley's parents have retired for the evening and we are alone ourselves in the living room, I browse the pictures of the evening. The difference is striking. I'm focused, obvious, honored in Bradley's family pictures. I'm a ghost, either behind the camera or slightly apart, grinning too broadly, constantly reaching in my own family albums. 22 years of looking for visibility. 22 years of explaining away mistakes. They are only occupied. Right now, Johnny needs extra care. Their ways of showing affection vary. Family is more complex than that. My fingertips dance across Instagram. I seldom upload personal material. What good would it be? My family seldom interacts. Hence, I have spent years carefully selecting a light, non-controversial feed that would not offend them. But tonight something changes within me, like a gear at last snapping into place after years of grind through. You fine? From the kitchen carrying water cups, Bradley asks. Just considering. I touch my screen to generate another narrative. With his parents surrounding us, I choose one of the pictures from dinner, Bradley's arm over my shoulders, my real grin. I never have looked more me. 4 tries goes into the caption. I toss every manuscript, second-guessing every word. Too sour, too desperate, too exposing. At last, I write great thanks to Bradley and his wonderful family for celebrating my birthday. So appreciative of folks who really do care about me. My thumb flies over the share button. Years of family training don't cause ripples. They don't humiliate us. They keep family business quiet. Is this excessive? I show Bradley the screen, that recognizable doll slinking in. He reads it twice, then looks at me. Remy, that is simply the truth. Only the truth. Not an assault, not a throwback, just the straightforward, unadulterated truth. I pushed share before I could talk myself out of it. The post shows up in my stories. Starting now is a 24-hour countdown. My stomach contracts briefly, then opens up. At last expressing what I've understood for years, there is something liberating. My phone ding almost right away. A heart from a college buddy, then another alert, then yet another. Happy birthday, Remy. You deserve celebration. You are lovely. I hope it was unique. You brought cupcakes for everyone when you turned 10, I recall. You have always been considered carefully. At this final one, Fred, my 5th grade teacher, I blink. She recalls a detail about me that my own parents would probably overlook, even though I haven't talked to her in years. More messages show up, former colleagues nearby. A relative on my mother's side, seen during holidays but not very often. Glad you have folks to honor you correctly. Always, you really deserve the finest. Beautiful image, happy birthday. The approval floods me in waves. Not insane, however. I'm not self-serving. Others see what I have been denying for so long. Look at all these texts. I whisper to Bradley, handing him my phone. He closes my hand. People look out for you, Remy. Many people. The alerts keep likes for an hour. Messages, wishes for a birthday. I answer everyone, lightening with every conversation. Walking to the kitchen for more cake, Bradley and I chat about nothing and everything. I ignore texts for the first time all day. My phone buzzes with another tone then. A text note. Remy, what is this post about? Mother. Another message shows up before I can digest this. Dad this time. Are you right now really serious? Following that, Johnny. Method of theater that is dramatic. The ring of my phone starts. The screen is covered with Mom's face. I fix my eyes on it, recalling all the times I have responded right away, terrified of letting her down further. 15 seconds separate the second call from the first termination. Then a third. Bradley tracks me closely. There is no answering required here. I aware of. Furthermore, for the first time I really do know that. I quiet the ringing and lay the phone face down on the counter. 5 minutes later, I grab it once again. 7 failed calls, 12 SMS messages, a family group chat during breakdown. I inhale deeply and then strike, call back. Mom responds on the first ring with a tight, under-control rage. At last, what do you suppose you are using that post for? Individuals are phoning me. I touch the speaker button without notifying her and set the phone on the counter right between Bradley and me. His presence grounds me as I am ready to tell my truth for the second time tonight. Hi, Mom, I say gently. I was simply appreciating the ones who remembered my birthday. Go delete it these days. The background sounds of Dad's voice. They have to be on speakerphones as well. Remy, this is just unacceptable. I call Bradley's attention. He gives an encouraging nod. No, I say. The single word seems alien and strong in my tongue. Neither do I suppose I will. I sat in Bradley's living room, very motionless. The voice of my mother filled my phone speaker. Though my hands quiver slightly against my thigh, my voice stays steady, a little triumph. I hang to like a life raft amid stormy waves. Remy, what the devil are you working on? Individuals are observing this. Mom's voice seemed higher than usual. That particular voice set out for social faux pas and public humiliations. Bradley sits next to me, near enough for support, yet he gives me room to fight my own war. Though I can see his parents through the doorway, close enough to step in if necessary, far enough to provide privacy, they have gently withdrawn to the kitchen. I selected this battleground specifically surrounded by people who love me, not alone where I might be more easily controlled. I wonder what I am doing. I say again, startled by my quiet voice. I'm appreciating the individuals that turned out for my birthday, really, down that post. Today, Dad's voice cuts in, his barely under control wrath rippling across the speaker. He probably snatched the phone from Mom. Remy, you have no clue how this may shape your future. Texts on my phone buzz in arrival. Yakub, Mom and Dad are very angry. What were you considering? Another one tracks right away. You are making this far more than is required. Their silence most strikes me as what they are not saying. None of them have mentioned, we apologize for missing your birthday. Not one reference to my possible emotions. Their priorities are just a parent show. This makes people turn to friends and relatives. I am not pulling it down. I say, words coming out of my mouth before I could start to doubt myself. I turned in the truth. When Bradley's family decided to honor Johnny instead, my birthday became unique. Winters of Remy Elizabeth. The voice of Dad falls dangerously low. If you go on acting like a little kid, there will be repercussions. The quiet spans us. Bradley covers my hand to try to control the shaking. What follow-up? At last, my voice clearer than I had anticipated. You have showed me where I stand. We are arriving, Dad calls out sharply. There is no phone talk about this. I saw Bradley's eye. He motions gently, pinching my hand. That's okay, I say. I had Bradley's. His folks are here as well. The extended pause that follows reveals everything. They expected me to be weak, alone, flexible. We have tomorrow to talk about this. Mom lets in a seamless interruption. When you are plainly thinking, sweetheart, the endearment strikes like a slap. How handy it is that she remembers to use it now. No, I declare with great clarity. Come here if you would like to chat. Otherwise, nothing to talk about exists. 43 minutes later, they show up. Mom's smile is brittle as she greets Bradley's parents in the doorway politely. Dad is rigidly standing next to her, his eyes darting over the well-appointed house as if looking for tactical advantage. Dad says, without quite asking a question, that we would want to talk to our daughter privately. Bradley's father, a guy I knew less than a year ago, remembers my birthday without asking and gently moves forward. Remy is allowed to have seclusion if she so desires, he adds, but she is also welcome to have assistance here. Family concerns belong within the family. Dad refutes, his jaw closing. Like family to us, Bradley's father responds equally. Remy is. She is glad to have help. Mom's face becomes flushed. The one where they come, overwhelm me with power, and go with my cooperation locked, is sliding away from them. Their eyes show the rising awareness that they had entered unknown ground. Mom tries once more, her voice honeyed with false love. Remy's darling, we just want to know what really disturbs you so much. The inquiry is so fake, it almost makes me chuckle. You really have no knowledge. I gently inquire. You celebrated Johnny instead of my birthday. Dad starts by saying, that is unfair. You forgot not, I interrupt, surprised as always. Johnny's meal was scheduled many weeks ago. I look at the family calendar. You decided to mark my birthday off limits. This weekend we were going to celebrate with you. Mom objects, but her eyes stray from me. No, I repeat. You are not the conviction blazing over me like a fever breaking. This is exactly what you usually do. Johnny first, me, if at all, second. The room becomes quiet. From their expressions, I notice something I have never seen before, at least not to themselves. The unpleasant awareness of a fact they cannot anymore ignore. She sees me for the first time in my life, and I see them too precisely, at last, totally. Bradley's living room seems to be a courthouse. Tension permeates the air, almost obvious in the late afternoon light, coming through beige curtains. My hands lie in my lap, motionless, not fidgety. I sit with my spine straight against the sofa's hard cushions. Mom and Dad stand uneasily by the fireplace mantel across from me, declining the chairs Bradley's parents had offered before quietly entering the kitchen. Mom fixes her pearl necklace, the one she wears to a significant client dinner date, tries a smile, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Remy, honey, all of this is a misinterpretation. Actually, this weekend we were going to surprise you. Dad is standing with his feet slightly apart, hands closed before him as if he were speaking to a challenging customer. This social media revolution has to stop immediately. You are undermining the standing of our family. Again buzzes my phone on the sofa table between us. Johnny's books are currently in production. I purposefully grab the phone and flip the screen so that everyone can see his most recent message. I'm going to Curtis's house. Tell Mom and Dad, get not waiting. Some celebration. I remark, my voice more consistent than I had hoped. Mom's eyes flood with tears perfectly on cue. The same performance I have seen at charitable events when she has to seem affected by someone's kindness. Remy, the chances we have given you, the support, after everything we have done for you. One might rethink your grandmother's inherited money. Dad intervenes, his voice calm and businesslike. Financial choices need both familial devotion and maturity. The words float above like a revelation. Funds. Usually it has been about money. Every birthday check, every tuition payment, every gift bearing unseen threads. We have always backed you more than Johnny has. Mom urges, gently wiping at her eyes to prevent smearing her mascara. His unique abilities just need more attention. A weird peace descends over me. Call one item a name, I say, my voice soft yet clear. List one achievement of mine for which you rightfully rejoiced. The quiet spans us, broken only by the distant sound of dishes being purposefully cleaned in the kitchen. Bradley's parents give us solitude, but yet allowing us near enough to act we're need. You spend the graduation ceremony gossiping about Johnny's science fair presentation from high school. I hold up one finger. I departed early for his baseball game from my college honors luncheon. Yet another finger. Your initial job offer inquired if I would have considered waiting for anything better while organizing Johnny's graduation celebration 1 year ahead. In a third finger. I unlock my phone and show them as I go over my calendar. You paid attention to my birthday. Like you have arranged for Johnny for every significant day of my life, you set his scholarship dinner on the same day. Not forgetting is what I mean here. That's option. I move the phone back towards them and show them a picture album I had maintained. Empty seats at my events, half-eaten celebration cakes, single pictures when family members should be standing next to me. You are contorting everything. Mom's voice raises, the nice veneer breaking. You are building a misleading story by tying these individual instances together. Dad stubs forward, his jaw locked. You erase that social media post and quit this absurd performance if you want to be part of this family. That's precisely it. Minot breaks through, and I feel something breaking free within. I have never truly fit the family either. I have been the photographer, the spectator, the cheerleader, not the honored. I grab a little leather-bound diary from within my purse. 3 years ago, I began tracking every lost benchmark, every canceled proposal, every celebration short because of Johnny. All of this is right here, Mom's eyes enlarge at the bodily signs of my suffering, concrete evidence not easily discounted as emotional hyperbole. I will not pretend going forward. I keep going, my voice becoming more forceful. Either let me go alone or admit how you have treated me. Right now, they are your decisions, not mine. Dad's face becomes red, the same way it does when a commercial transaction falls apart. Remy, you will regret this when you need us. When real life becomes tough, don't come weeping back. Mom hisses. Remy looks toward the kitchen where Bradley's parents are almost trying not to pay attention. People are seeing your tale online. Everyone's view will be what? From his spot close to the entrance, Bradley approaches to sit next to me, without touching but close enough to sense his constant presence. I wonder if they are observing. I say, first her, then Dad's. Perhaps it will empower someone else to speak out. When they understand they have really lost control of the story, the astonishment on their faces almost offsets the years of suffering. Others are at last listening after the loyal, invisible daughter they could rely on to remain silent discovered her voice. Dad, losing the upper hand, checks his watch in anxious habit. Mom's fingers turn around her pearls. They neither know what to say to me for the first time in my life. I don't hurry to cover the stillness with apologies for the first time. I just wait, inhaling in the strange sense of standing in my truth while others try to change it. Once they have been shared, some tales cannot be changed, however, and at last, mine belongs to me. The early light comes through drapes. I picked strong teal designs that would have offended my mother's beige sensibilities. 1 month after my birthday, and my flat now really feels like me. There is no more general decorating selection meant to evade critique. I am not muttering myself anymore, running my fingertips over the exquisite leather diary from Bradley's parents, which sits conspicuously on my bookcase next to the handcrafted tea set her sister gave me. Simple present, well selected, the type that says, I notice you. One calendar reminder on my phone buzzes. I don't flinch when it turns on now. I find